Hi, grade nines. So here is one of our last lessons. We are talking about direct and partial variation. So I have two examples here, and then we'll talk about what we notice. So we have Amanda earns commission on her sales. Commission is when you sell something in the store or wherever you're working, pay you a little bit extra for making those sales. The amount of her commission is C dollars. It varies directly with S dollars. So her commission is 10% for every dollar she sells. So we're going to write an equation. So that equation is going to be C for her commission. And when we find percent, remember we want to write percent of. So 0.10. So that's the percent as a decimal times S. I always make my S's a little bit fancy, you'll notice, because I don't want it to look like a 5. So if Amanda doesn't go to work, she's not going to sell anything, obviously. So her commission will be 0. She won't make any money if she doesn't go to work. So we're going to fill in our table of values. So we're going to go 0 for S, so 0. So I'm just looking at my equation. So 0.10 times S, and S is 0. Okay, she makes 0. What if she sells 2,000? So we're going to go 10% of 2,000. 0.10 times 2,000. And you should get 200. And then 4,000 would be 400. And 6,000 would be 600. Okay, we're going to make a little graph from our information. So your x-axis along the bottom, the independent variable. So what is independent? It's the number of sales she makes. It is independent. And what is the dependent is going to be her commission. Her commission depends on her sales. Sorry, just not a lot of room there, right? So her commission depends on her sales. So we're going to have 0 in the corner, and her sales are going to be 1,000, 2,000. I can't fit it on here very well. 3,000, 4,000. My pen is really wide. 5,000, 6,000. So skip every one, and it's going up by thousands. And then along the side will be 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600. And then we'll go ahead and plot our points on. So we have 0, 0. We have over 2,000 up to 200. Over 4 up to 4. Over 6 up to 6. So it makes a nice straight line, you'll notice. The other day we talked about that. That means this is a linear graph. It makes a nice straight line. So what is our rate of change? How is this changing? Is the 0.10. So our rate is the 10%, or 0.10. Okay, so that's our direct variation. We'll talk about why it's direct in a minute. Let's go and try out this partial variation below. So it says if we're having a banquet and we want to have a banquet hall, it costs $1,000 to rent. And then we're going to invite people, and they're going to cost $25 per person. So if we write an equation for this, it says let C dollars represent the total cost. So there's my C. And this is going to cost me 1,000 plus 25 for every person. So this says N is the number of people. Okay, so if nobody ends up buying tickets, nobody attends, we still have to pay for the hall. It's still going to cost us $1,000. So when we put that into our table of values here, we're going to have 1,000. So even though 0 people come, we're going to still have to owe the hall because they're holding it for us, right? Next, we're going to sub 25 in for the N over here. So we have bed mass, right? 25 times 25 will be 625 plus 1,000. Okay, so 1,625. Then we're going to sub in 50. 25 times 50 plus 1,000. So go ahead and do that. So that's what my table of values looks like, and we're going to go and plot this information onto our graph. So along the bottom we have our independent variable, our x-axis, and then our dependent variable, which is our y. And along here, our independent variable, it is our number of people. So that's our N values. And then the cost depends on how many people attend. So we're going to have, let's do this. We'll go 25, 50, 75, 100. So I'll try to squeeze, maybe I'll zoom in here so I can get those numbers on. 25, 50, 75, and then 100. There we go. Going up the side, we're going to have that big jump. Remember we talked about having a jump in the graph? So that way I can jump 1,000 units, I can start right here at 1,000, and I can go up by whatever it is I'm giving. So it's or whatever I'm given. So it's kind of a break in the graph. It's like a little squiggly here. So I'm going to put on my next one. I had 1,625. Oops, I'm not writing that right. Let's try that again. I have 1,625. Then what was my next one there? We had 2,250. So 2,250. My next one was 2875. 2875. My last one was 3,500. So 3,500. Okay. So let's go ahead. Oops. Let's go ahead and make our graph here. Okay. So for 0 people, it still costs $1,000. So I need a point at 0 and 1,000. There's my first point. Next, I have 25 people, had 1,600. 50 people cost the next one here. Then 75, and then the 3,500 at the end. And then using a ruler, I don't have one that I can use on my iPad here, but another nice straight line. So again, another linear relation. Okay, so now let's talk about what's the difference between these two graphs here. Can you see it? One is called direct and one is partial. So we have direct up here at the top, and we have partial as our second one that we did. So what's happening here? What makes them different? So maybe we can go to our next page here. So it says, how can you tell the type of variation? Just by looking at the graph. So check out those graphs. They were both linear. One had a break in it, so it had a breakdown here. That doesn't make it anything different, but if you take a look at what I'm highlighting, you'll notice one starts at 0 and one definitely doesn't start at 0. So just by looking at the graph, we're going to say direct starts at 0, 0, so right on the origin. You might want to write that word in there. So right in the origin. And partial starts above or below 0, 0. Okay. Next question is saying, what about that table of values? So let's scoot back and look. So notice our table of values set up very similar, but the key thing to note here is that starting value. This is called the initial value. Initial value. Let's write that down. Initial. Oops. Put a pen. Initial value. So the very first one, when it's 0 with something, makes it the initial value. So our direct variation starts at 0, 0, and partial variation starts at something other than 0. So let's write that down. Okay, so we have direct, we have initial value is at 0, 0, and then partial, sorry, my writing is really messy on this, it's hard to do it with the pen I'm using. So initial, it's not picking up everything I'm writing. Initial value is not 0. Okay. Last one, we're looking at the equation. So the equations that we wrote here, I'm just going to highlight them. So we have our equations here. So here's my equation up here and this equation here. You'll notice something other than just the letters and the numbers, of course. This one only has one term. So the one up here, direct variation, only has one term. This one had 2 terms, right? It had a constant and another term with a variable. So we can write over here that our equation for direct has no constant, only one term. And then partial has a constant or 2 terms. Okay? So the last one we're going to look at here, it says the table below shows distance traveled over time. So as the time goes up this way, as the time's going up here, so you'll notice our distance is also increasing. So it says the table value shows the distance traveled over time. Input the missing values. So what do you notice as we're going from 15 to 20? It's only going up by 5. So that means the one that happened right before this would be down by 5. So that means this one has to be 10. So if I'm going up by 5, I have 10, 15, 20. So the next one would be 25. And then we have 30. But what's going to go in this spot beside the 30? We can fill in there 4. But you'll notice it goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then jumps all the way to 7. So I'm not going to put 35 here. That's not right, because this jumps all the way up to 7. So 5 would go with 35, and 6 would go with 40. That means 7 would go with 45. Okay, so we inputted the values into our table, and now it's saying, what is the initial value and how did you find it? So what is our initial value? Initial value, remember, is when the first value, when your first variable is zero, what goes with it? Let's just get rid of that. There we go. So we're looking at this first initial entry when x value is 0. Okay, so since it's not 0, 0 to start it off, then we know the initial value is 10, because when x is 0, y is 10. When time is 0, distance was 10. So initial value is 10, and we subtracted 5 to get it. Okay, last question at the bottom here is saying, is this table of values an example of partial or direct variation? What do you think? So we have not 0, 0 here. If I go to graph it, it would not start at the origin, it would start above the origin and go up from there. So that means this is a partial variation. And that is it. That's all I have for you now. So you're going to just go upload these to show me that they're completed, and then I have some practice work for you to do. Good luck.